Welcome back to the 2021 Rogue Invitational here at the Dell Diamond Stadium in Round Rock, Texas. Here at the Rogue Iron Game Desk, I am Pat Sherwood, joined by China Cho, former Rogue Invitational competitor and 7-time CrossFit Games athlete, and Dr. Bill, Oracle of All Knowledge Strongman. The Legends competition, how fantastic was that? Just to get to see all those faces you've known for so long get out there and throw down.
I mean, it was such a fun thing to watch. I love the format of the event. I love the pairing. I love that the weights increased. They were not easy weights even at the end.
No, for sure.
And it was just exciting.
And Dr. Bill, this is one of your first exposures to kind of CrossFit in person, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'm very excited by this. I love how we're taking barriers down and having all strength athletics come together. I grew up and that's the way it was. It was Olympic lifting with bodybuilding, and everybody just trained together. So maybe we'll get that back.
You and I are going to go out there afterwards and kind of hit some clean and jerks, some rope climbs. We'll be good to go.
Some elephant deadlifts,
you
all the things.
You can pull the deadlift. I'll handle the rope climb.
Okay,
we'll be
that
good to go.
sounds good. I'll do that.
We're well into day one of competition. A lot has happened. We have a lot left on the table. More strongmen, more CrossFit. But up next, we have the Rogue Record Breakers, and specifically the Anvil Grip, which was an event that I was unfamiliar with, but you are quite knowledgeable in this area.
Well, it's in reference to George Jowett, who's considered to be the father of American weightlifting, even though he was born in England and is buried in Canada. But it's a anvil that was 172 pounds, and he was considered to have actually lifted it by the horn and picked it up. And a lot of people still try to do this kind of thing. It's very popular. But Rogue has an implement which actually can be plate loaded from the bottom, and you can reach down and lift it up. It's very hard because it's basically a conical shaped iron or stainless steel implement that tapers to the top, and it wants to slide out of your hand. So it takes a tremendous amount of grip, particularly in the thumb and the forefinger.
That's incredible. And you know, the current records right now is 240 pounds for men, 170 for women, and each competitor will get, is it 3 attempts to establish their best lift?
Yes, it's just like a powerlifting competition where you have to have an opening weight, and you have about 30 seconds to declare for the second, and then after that you're stuck with that one, and then you have another 30 seconds to declare and keep moving up.
And you pick whichever hand you would like.
You can do it, and you just need to get it off the ground. Stand up. You have to lock it, and you have to also let the weight down under control. You can't let it down because that actually looks like it slides out of your hand. That's a no lift.
Oh, okay.
It's like falling from the top of a rope.
And your the judges are top experts in grip strength. So Chad Clark and the legendary Ode Haugen know all about this kind of implement. So they're not going to let this slip by.
Well, we're extremely excited to see what kind of loads we're going to get off the ground here. We've got both men and women competing in the Anvil Grip event on the men's competitor field. Oh, there we have a shot right now. This is about to go down live in person.
Oh, that cylinder does not look thin.
That's Jan Todd. She runs the competition. There's a lot of history there as well.
Yes, Jan would know all about it. Actually, at the Stark Institute, the original Jowett anvil lives there. So if you actually want to go put your hands on history, go to the Stark Institute at the University of Texas, and it's there.
Do you think we have a chance of seeing one of those records fall today?
I'd love to see that. I think that what it does is it re-energizes the idea that this isn't just strongman, this is old-time strongman, that we're bringing up things that people used to, blacksmiths would do things that would allow people to have the imagination that they were really much stronger than anybody in their village, and that was old-time strongman, lifting something very basic like a stone or a log or an anvil. So this is the kind of thing that I'd love to see continue.
How would you train for this? Like how?
Well, how would you train to lift more weight on a deadlift?
Lift more weight on a deadlift.
So you do the same thing. You get the implement and you start training on it because it's very specific. Grip strength is very specific, especially an implement like this.
Yeah.
There are people that have great grips that do different. They have different strengths in their grip. Some people are great with crushing. Some people are great with supporting. Some people are great with other types of grip. This is very specific in that it's mostly forefinger and thumb, and that kind of incorporates some of the crushing grip.
I said most of the time when you think of grip training, you think of those.
Yeah, that's what my dad had.
The grips.
There we go.
All right, they have 30 seconds to complete.
So, Bill, what are you looking for as you watch this event?
So I'm looking for him, well, one, to just get a good purchase on the implement and be able to stand it up. Now he's taking a top end as opposed to a bottom end. Sometimes people with smaller hands will try from the top.
All right, time.
And you may have said this, but how high do they have to get it off the ground?
You have to be able to stand up with it and then
Okay.
let it back down under control after receiving the judge's order to come down.
Are we looking for the knees to extend, the hips to fully open, or just break it free of the ground?
No, you have to stand
Top
up
of
with
the
it and then
deadlift.
let it back down.
Okay.
Top pull, good lift.
I would think you'd want to be near the top there for sure. It seems to me that the Rogue record breakers and Rogue in general is kind of bringing a lot of events that have a lot of historical value and maybe aren't quite as popular to the forefront.
So we have 225 pounds on the Anvil now.
225.
Yes, and the record's 240, so these guys have been training. Okay, so he's taking a top end on that one. Really squeezing down. Good lift.
Wow.
I said to my eye that looked like he was well within his capacity.
Kind of pedestrian, actually.
Lift the five.
He's got 2 more attempts.
On the way, there we go. Lift by Andy.
And is this Anvil common gear in any strongman facility?
Yes, and good home gyms.
Would a taller athlete succeed more than a shorter athlete? Does it really matter?
It doesn't really matter. It's about your grip.
Got it.
Yes.
Back over on the fella side, Justin up next. 225.
225.
Any particular
again.
reason for the mouthpiece?
Some people just like the lift of the mouthpiece. You clench your teeth and you can chip your teeth doing that. Oh, let's see what the judges say.
Goes a no rep. He's going to give it another shot.
You just didn't show the control at the top.
Correct, no lift.
Looked like it fell out of his hand.
Yes, it did. It slipped. Okay, he
There
got
we
it.
go. Good
He got it
rep.
down. So that was a good lift.
230 it sounded like.
230 is the next call for the next athlete.
Okay.
The green over stays on. The green is what makes it even.
Kristen up next. She's setting up with 140 pounds.
Starting to get into some high numbers here.
Yes. Easily done.
Yeah, they look
Very
clean.
easy.
Get another attempt.
China, how come you're not out there?
Well, my grip strength is very...
If they didn't pass that, she let it down too quickly.
Oh, really?
Oh, she's not letting it
That's,
down under
that's why
control.
I'm not judging. Looked like a great lift to me.
The first one, yeah, I thought
Still
so
have time.
too.
20 seconds.
They don't have weights light enough for me to do this.
Just the Anvil by itself.
Yes. And Dr. Bill, you said they could take as many attempts as they want within 30
No
seconds?
lift. She's gonna
Within the
give
time limit, yes.
it another shot.
Yeah, I thought he said 10 seconds.
Does good deadlifter equal good Anvil lifter or not necessarily?
Not necessarily, no. Grip specialist. It does help to have a great grip with a deadlift, but it's not a
Also
prerequisite.
140.
And again, it's very specific.
She'll be coming up next. Ashley will be coming up next.
Now this man has a large pair of hands.
It's custom built for this movement.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Easily done.
Very easy.
Nicely done. Solid lift.
Now notice how his hands are a little bigger, so he's actually gripped a little further down. just not so high up. He uses his hand size. So this is Ashley Munsey.
Solid
Nice.
lift, Ashley. Good job.
Wow, very
Short
good.
range of motion. That didn't go very far, but she stood up perfectly straight.
Yep, and she got the down signal, and it was a
Yeah.
good lift.
David getting ready. 230.
Still at 230 for the men. Easily done.
Good lift. You know, Dr. Bill, before Rogue kind of bringing this to many people's attention, how in the world did somebody find themselves in the world of Anvil Grip lifting? I mean, just you happen to have a buddy who's a strong man, or how was it kept alive?
I have several anvils.
Just come by your house.
Yes,
Cassie set up
they're
for
very popular.
120.
They make them in all sizes.
It's great to see the
Good
crowd
lift.
that drew.
Notice how she kind of turns her wrist and locks into it.
She turned her wrist and she held it for so long at the top, like that was clear that was good.
Yes, she turned her wrist and locked into it.
You don't want to put that thing down too soon before the judge gives you the green light,
Correct. Oh. More chalk.
When in doubt, more chalk.
That's
More
always
chalk.
the
More
answer.
attempts.
Magnesium carbonate.
There we go, crowd.
Oh, I can tell you this, from 225 to 230, 5 pounds, and it's almost like it's nailed down. It doesn't take much with grip strength, and it just
It
will not
suddenly
move.
just falls
Such
off
a
the cliff.
small
It just won't move.
muscle
It's-
group.
Yes, it's very specific grip.
Now, would this ever be programmed as an event in an overall strongman competition, or is it more of a singularity?
Come on, guys. Let's make some
It would be in a
quiet.
grip
There we
strength
go.
competition.
Okay.
Oh,
Great lift.
okay. They gave her
Don't be so
the
shy,
down
guys.
right as she put it down.
Absolutely. Don't be shy at all. Andy Muncie up next, 235.
Well, this was the guy that
235.
had the really easy 225, I think.
Yes, he did. Now, you see some guys with some big, powerful
Like
upper
Jeff said,
arms.
don't be shy,
And
folks.
a
Let's get loud. Let's get behind
guy
these
with
guys.
a little bit smaller, but he's right in there.
Yep, got it. No problem. Yep, absolutely.
He's kind of going for a knockout punch. It looks like he's trying to go a little bit above the other guys and hope they can't make the next weight.
Wow.
Wow, great comeback.
I didn't think he had it after that first attempt, and he bounced back.
Well, you notice he turned his wrist a little bit. He locked in a little tighter. Judge Chad Clark speaking to the athlete.
Just tell him. Tell him what's up. All right, Kristen's setting up with 150.
The other thing you're going to watch for is some athletes will build a lot of tension before they start the pull. You don't want to yank on it. You want to build a lot of tension, and then you start it up.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind Kristen. It's not easy.
Kristen Benito.
150 pounds.
Oh,
Almost there.
Oh,
just keeps
20
dropping it.
seconds left.
Still have another attempt. Still keeps slipping.
in a barbell you have the knurling that aids in your grip
This
a
is
little bit. Is there
smooth.
any knurling whatsoever, any
None
texture?
whatsoever. Very smooth. Very smooth.
Well, that doesn't sound very kind.
We would call that a postcard lift, where if you took a picture at the very second she stood up with it, it looked like a good lift.
Ah, right.
But in actuality, it wasn't.
Well, let's get behind Dave on this one.
So Dave Labey.
240 pounds.
240. That ties the record.
Wow.
He also has such great forearm strength. Notice how he kind of tilts the anvil into his hand.
And his arm looks slightly bent. Yeah.
He tilts the anvil a little bit. That's completely legitimate. You've got to be strong enough to employ that technique.
Set up. Let's cheer on Ashley. Getting ready for 155.
Oh, she's right there.
And so just to be clear, that previous gentleman tied the record.
Yes, that's what it appears. 240 was the record previously. So, keep
so
slipping.
close.
If I were her, I would come down just a little bit. I would give it. She's trying to use the smallest part of the anvil. I would come down and grip a little lower.
Gives you no room for error when you're too high, correct?
Yes, because it keeps slipping. Maybe that gives her the purchase she needs to finish the lift.
All right, next up is going to be Eric. 245 is going to be a record.
245.
245.
So this will be the record. So that was a tied record. Now this is breaking the record.
There you go. Keep that clap going. There you go.
No pressure.
Nervous.
He's got large hands. He's going to grip a little bit further down than the other athletes.
Oh,
Keeps slipping. It's just right there.
And Eric shakes his head. No.
Ran out of time.
impressive.
That time really
competition for him,
catches up
though.
on you.
It does. And your grip, once it goes, it's not like grinding something out. Once the grip goes, usually it just is not there.
For the female athletes coming up, it is Cassie.
Chad Clark getting everybody pumped up.
Hey. There she goes, 135.
135.
Oh, that looks
Legit.
solid.
Good. Wow. Love it. That was a great lift.
Successful 135.
She leaves no doubt that she
No.
made the lift, holds it, brings it back down. Very
Yes,
impressive.
very strong. And that gets in the other people's heads, too.
I bet.
It's like any other thing. If you make something that's heavy look
All right,
not
next
as
up,
heavy,
Justin, 245 will be a record-breaking attempt here. 240, the standing record has already been tied. Let's see if we can break it. All right, you got this.
just not coming off the ground.
And he said, no, not gonna happen.
Just too much.
Solid attempt at a record-breaking lift.
Record-breaking attempt, though, so that was
All right, our third attempt.
exciting.
For Miss Olivia here, we have 145.
145. I think to take the lead.
Just telling you guys, get on your feet, make some noise. 145. Olivia setting up.
It's a new possible record.
For her third and final attempt.
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Third attempt. Oh, give her an extra.
That was so good.
Just like in powerlifting or some throwing events, you can take an extra if you have three solid attempts, but I don't think they do that.
Reports back on the fellow side. Robert Alexander addressing 220.
Just didn't come off on that one.
I'll give it one more try. Let's get behind him on this last one, folks. And time.
They ran out of time. Also, too, you notice how the weight was spinning underneath the anvil.
Let's give a big round of applause.
That's tough to overcome that momentum.
Setting up for 155. This is her third attempt.
Third
And
attempt, 155.
Everybody's favorite judge telling you to get on your feet.
155.
155.
That would be the record.
I'm psyched, she's psyched, he's psyched. Let's go, 155.
Oh,
So close, still got time.
broke it. Just got to fully stand up with it, lock it out, and wait for the judge's command down.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
Current record for women is 170, so this is quite a good lift for the competition. Oh, he hadn't given her the down signal yet. She's also quite a deadlifter, by the way.
Oh, really?
Well, let's give her a big round of applause. Nonetheless.
Why do you think she's missing that lift?
Well, she just wasn't getting the down signal from the judge, and he's trying to explain that to her because you want to stand and lock it. She's standing and then putting it down.
Gotcha.
You want to show command on the weight.
Watch the judge.
Watch the judge.
You don't want to do all that hard work just to barely miss out.
It has to come down under control.
Let's see some records broken. Here we go. Let's do it. Andy waving off 245. Big round of applause for Andy.
245. He was trying to tie the record, but just didn't have the impetus.
Does everybody have their little routine? You're gonna chalk, gonna walk in, gonna walk back. You know, they're kind of their pre-lift ritual.
Pretty much, that's like every other lift. You'd have a little bit of a ritual where you're going to put your hands on it. Oh, 175.
Oh, wow.
This would be the record. 175, 170. This is a great lift for anybody. And for a women's record, this should be fantastic. Okay, come on. Oh.
And you're right, there is that point that it just becomes exponentially harder because her previous lifts, I don't want to call them easy, but they looked no question.
Plus, she's had a big jump. 145 to 175. Take another crack at it. You never know.
Why not?
Come on.
Feel the crowd, make it happen.
Okay.
Either way, big round of applause.
Good run at it.
On the fella side, Eric Dawson staring down 245. Record-breaking attempt, folks. Call it record breakers for a reason. We're gonna make it happen. Here we go.
245.
Potential record here.
Starting to rotate on him as he starts up. Any kind of momentum like that will break the weight from your hand.
Can you counteract that?
You really don't want that twist. You want to have it solid from bottom to top.
Big round of applause for Eric Dawson.
So far, we've had some people just right on the cusp of breaking these records.
Well, it gets to where you can break it off the ground, but you have to pick it up under
Right.
control and put it back down, just like you saw the other athlete.
Right.
She was right there. It just seemed like, why isn't it? She didn't get the down command. That's the way it is.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Why so quiet? The big boys getting ready to end it here. 245.
245 for a record.
Justin looking strong.
Justin Clifford. World record.
Setting up. Here we go. 245.
Oh.
Got some time. Gonna readjust.
It looks like it's nailed down. Oh, not coming off.
Justin.
Again, 5 pounds makes all the difference.
Hold on. We got our next athlete.
Next up, David.
Oh, here we go.
Dr. Bill, are you familiar with all these names and faces out there?
No, I'm really not. A lot of these are folks that maybe train at home, and there's not a lot of this kind of competition. That's why Record Breakers is great. You can take somebody that really does something and endeavors at home and come out and show the world what they've got.
David, no Goliath. We're gonna make it happen right here.
Oh, Broke the
So
ground with it.
close.
245. He's right there. World's record. Very solid.
Let's get behind David.
David
Let's
Levy.
go, let's go.
Oh, he got it off the ground. Now he's going to try it with his left hand. Time. Not going.
Is that time? All right, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for
Somebody nailed 245 to the ground.
So close.
So
Absolutely so close.
With his last attempt, I felt like he was probably going to pull that one, but just didn't happen. Just that 5 pounds, that little bit with these kind of grip competitions.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, big